looking at my audio. That's something.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TELx biweekly council meeting for this May 27th in several parts of the world and May 28th in others. The TELx Council is a local governance organization with authority over TELx operational rules, system health, and social well-being. Overview of the TELx Council is to accept, develop, and vote on TELx IP proposals to change or introduce new elements to the TELx ecosystem, to alter TELx harvesting rules, and is responsible for generally representing the interests of and informing their constituency in matters pertaining to TELx. TELx Council is required to plan, finance, and coordinate implementation of improvements to the TELx ecosystem, regulate the flow of TEL issuance throughout the TELx ecosystem to be harvested by liquidity miners, introduce, alter, and enforce TELx operational rules, including harvesting, communication, maintenance, and construction. Vote on TELx IPs. The council must achieve a 5 of 6 approval rate within 120 hours in order for it to be affirmed, and to attend bi-weekly meetings and rotate responsibilities for hosting, recaps, etc. With that, we would like to recap last meeting. If let's see.
That'll be over to me then. Thanks,
Okay.
Mike.
Yep, thanks, sorry.
So the previous meeting focused on Merkl integration, liquidity strategy, and potential changes to TELx's Uniswap v4 setup. The Merkl proof of concept has completed week 3 with week 4 underway. Week 2 repeated the original setup for comparison, whilst week 3 expanded to 6 campaigns using different reward parameters. The team's considering a possible 5th week of testing to gather more data. Merkl's closed source code means TELx likely cannot directly adjust parameters using Merkl's internal data, but the team can still analyze outputs and refine campaign settings. The main objective is to distribute rewards more fairly across liquidity providers, not just those using tight, actively managed ranges. Early results suggest Merkl smoothing rewards and reducing extreme allocations to a small number of narrow range LPs. The reward parameters being tested include pool fees and TVL weighting across TEL and ETH. Campaigns range from 100% fee-based rewards to broader TEL-ETH TVL splits. The council plans to present early findings at the next meeting, potentially supported by a dashboard followed by a fuller report. A Medium article was suggested as a formal publication channel. Merkl's role is not only fairer reward distribution, but also attracting deeper liquidity to TELx pools such as TEL USDC, the USD TEL, and TEL-ETH. And the liquidity shift to new pools has no fixed date yet. The team ideally wants all proposals, votes, and pool changes coordinated in one planned transition, likely around late Q2 or early Q3. Noah, the Telcoin Solidity engineer, explained that if Merkl handles rewards, the Uniswap v4 hook may be removable, and this could improve aggregator routing and simplify the system. Subscription would still be required for TELx eligibility, but position tracking could read more directly from on-chain Uniswap v4 NFT data. And that's the end of the recap. So back to you, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Boo. Appreciate it. So I think it's going to be a kind of a Merkl-centric discussion today. First up on our agenda, I think, would be to sort of cover the Merkl meeting we had discussion on. I think it was yesterday. Was that meeting? I was not in attendance, but if somebody in attendance could give us a little recap on that, that would be lovely.
Yeah, so I did produce some notes. They're not as full as normal, but I think Eric's on. I'm not sure if Andrew's on at the moment. If you want to come in at any point, or Leo, if Leo's on, then feel free. So my notes are that TELx can integrate a Merkl widget if required. Users could claim rewards from the Merkl API through TELx, with TELx linking to Merkl in the background. And there's now 2 key audiences to consider. Obviously existing TELx users, but also current Merkl users. Merkl users who discover TEL opportunities on Merkl could be redirected to TELx, and Halil estimated that TELx integration would take a few days of work. There's an ongoing discussion around using existing pools whilst asking LP providers to move to a non-hook pool, where LPs would remove liquidity from the pool with a hook. They would then redeposit into the equivalent pool without the hook, and the non-hook would have a different address. A Kuiper swap example was provided and may be particularly relevant to Eric. So Eric, you've got the details on that. Now for deep liquidity, the goal is to maximize liquidity from a -2% to a +2% range, similar to what is shown on the CoinGecko page for markets, if anyone's familiar with that. Baptiste from Merkl suggested that new users, especially those unfamiliar with Uniswap v4, may be better directed to a liquidity manager for simplicity. Fees were discussed. A 1% fee may be achievable at volumes above $10 million per year. A fees page was shared and a discount was mentioned, but 1% would not be available initially and would depend on volume. And finally, Merkl can support the launch of the marketing campaigns. So Eric, did I miss anything out there?
Good evening. Good. Can you everybody hear me? I have
Yep,
a lot of problems
good.
with my audio and speaker. So I just tuned in, and I think we skipped to the agenda to the Merkl meeting that we had yesterday. Following.
Yeah, so we've just been through the Merkl meeting yesterday. If you've got nothing to add there, then I suggest we move on to the next agenda item.
Yeah. Well, I can explain a little bit how we got to the meeting. On 4 because
You're gonna.
I think we're going to this
Your mic is choppy. It's hard to understand you right now.
Let me see. Actually, item 2 on the agenda was Tuesday Merkl's meeting with Baptiste. I'll go to one on the agenda now. If I have the right agenda, of course. It's the Merkl integration POC status, and a little bit how we got to the meeting with Merkl yesterday with Baptiste. So what we did, if you listen more often to this council meeting, you're already aware. Over the last 4 reward periods, we ran a side-by-side test with our native TELx incentives and the Merkl protocol. The POC status is we finished. We got all the test results in. What we actually did is our native TELx incentives and the Merkl protocol, we ran them both live on the same ETH pool on Base. And it was over the exact same liquidity and the same time span. And because the market is for both, any difference comes purely from how each program.
You're breaking up again, Eric.
Scenarios.
Yeah, Eric, your mic is cutting out pretty
Do you hear me now?
It's just your internet connect, Eric. It's just your internet connection. So if you go somewhere with a little bit of a stronger signal, you'd probably be okay.
Switch. One second.
Can Paul Eric gets his audio sorted? Can I just ask a little bit about the widget? The Merkl widget that you mentioned, Boo, is that something that a standard TELx user would include in his dashboard, or is it something we include in the TELx website?
I believe it's for potential incorporation into our website, as that was one of the things that we was just checking with Halil.
Yeah, right, so it's not something that the user kind of downloads and puts in as an extension to his browser or anything like that.
No, it's on the website, and it would just allow the user to provide liquidity to the Uniswap pools without having to go to Uniswap, basically. So it would just
Thanks, Theo.
remove that step, but they do charge a fee to use it, so a bit of a trade-off there. Yeah, something to discuss.
Okay.
Can you hear me better now? I changed my internet connection. I hope it's better. Can you hear me
Yes.
now?
Much better. Yep.
Ah, perfect. Thank you, Derek. Where was I? Yeah, so we tested different Merkl settings in parallel next to our native reward program. I can share my screen. I think it was trying to share my screen. No, it was. Well, I got a lot of problems today. I can. I had a screen print, but it's not working. I don't know what's happening. We basically.
Eric, if you want to email it to me, I can share it.
Let me see. I should be able to. Sorry, guys. I'm having a lot of trouble today with. Oh wait, there it is. Share. Yeah, you should be able to see my screen now. Yep. So these are the scenarios that we tested in Merkl. The thing with Merkl is that it's pretty flexible, and I think this is the biggest pro for Merkl if we're going to use it. You can basically split rewards up in 3 things, or actually 2 things. It's always based on active liquidity, but we can decide how much we want to go to the fees that are being generated. And for example, here, if you see variant A, you see that 60% of our rewards will go to the fees that are generated. So if you have a narrow range, you're going to get more, and the 20% will go to the tokens that are provided in the range that has to be up to the in-range liquidity. So you can see if we're going from A to F that there are different scenarios. The baseline we used was basically more or less following the our native reward program. Then you can see a completely balanced 30, 35, 35. Only fees. This was also interesting. What if we only reward fees? No matter how much of the tokens and liquidity got in there. Well, the rest is self-explanatory, I think. It gave us a lot of good insights. The goal that we went after was to have a one-on-one comparison and to see how the different Merkl scenarios would reward our users with basically 3 sub-goals. We're always looking for the deepest liquidity at TELx. So our users can swap at the best fees and the best prices. But we also want to attract new retail and passive users, plus attract sophisticated users that know how to play a little bit with the DeFi V3, V4 structure. So all this combined, we ran it over 4 periods. We had a lot of metrics. And one of our the main conclusion was, I think, is first of all, no single formula, no single scenario in Merkl actually. There's no formula that optimizes all the 3 sub goals. So deepest liquidity, attracts new, and also the sophisticated users. What we did see was a fairer distribution in every variant scenario that we had over the period. And what we did is V3 and V4, of course, there are a lot of dependencies, variables. Are you in range? Are you out range? What is your liquidity size? So we used a Gini coefficient. For those who don't know, a Gini coefficient is used a lot in DeFi, and especially for liquidity providing, to see how fair the rewards are distributed. the Gini coefficient goes from 0 to 1. 1 meaning a few users get all the rewards, and 0 means the rewards are spread out pretty equally over the users. I will show you another. No, this is not the one. Screenshot here. Yeah. And here you can see our the end results, where our red line is the native reward program, and you see it's closer to 1 and compared to all the other variants that we use for Merkl. So conclusive, what you actually see is that Merkl actually rewards users more equal than the current native system that we have. I believe the native Gini coefficient on our reward program at the moment was around 0.8 with an outlier to 0.86. And all the Merkl variants were between 0.6 and 0.7, which is actually pretty good for liquidity providing and the reward programs. So it seems Merkl checks the boxes here. What we also saw, and this was also pretty interesting, that the set and forget strategies, so more for the beginning users, they came out pretty good. And Merkl actually in all the scenarios, there's one wallet. I can't go too technical and deep into all the details because there's a lot of private stuff in our analysis. But there was one wallet that didn't change its position, didn't do anything over the whole period, and actually got to 16 or 36% around that margin more of rewards under Merkl than under our native program every single week. So this was pretty interesting to see. So the set and forget strategies seem to be favored more with Merkl than with our own program. Of course, we also still want to reward deeper liquidity. So we'll be staying with Uniswap v4. That's still excellent to create deep liquidity. Also looking at some stablecoin pairs that we might want to introduce in the future with the bank going live. Of course, we're the association, but tied closely to the bank, and we'll probably see a lot of stable coins going live also in the future. Our role with Merkl, or with TELx, is not completely clear yet, but Merkl also seems to facilitate the stable coin strategies pretty good. Merkl has some pretty good docs also. If you're interested, they're easy you can find them on their website. So all in all, after finishing our POC, I think Merkl gives us the flexibility that we want, being able to reward the users that we want from beginner to advanced and still focusing on deep liquidity. So yeah, the test results, as far as I'm concerned, were a success. And so this ended up discussing in the meeting with Merkl that we had yesterday and just discussed. And I think it's up to us and our community to decide what the reward structures will be, which scenario we're going to use with Merkl. And yeah, have some kind of timeline when we're going forward with this. So yeah, it's a quick set out of the test that we ran. Are there questions? Or yeah, Boo.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I don't know if you can go back to that previous slide where it showed the A to F variants. But the other thing Merkl confirmed is we are able to run more than one campaign per week. So it doesn't necessarily have to be A, B, C, D, E, or F. It could potentially be a combination of those should we choose to do so. So thank you.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Ty.
Yeah, hi. Just keep on that slide for the moment. Just a point of clarity. You've labeled A as the baseline, but really C is the fee only, which is more in line with our current method of reward distribution, because we're only, in the current pools, we're only rewarding based on fees. And so for a comparison with the current system, fees only, then C's the setting that's more close to our existing system. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. But if
So-
you, yeah, no, it's correct, Ty. Yeah.
Okay, so if you flip to the graph now, Eric, the next slide.
Coming up.
Thanks. Two things spring out. Looking at that level of detail, and we maybe need to drill down to a greater level, there doesn't seem to be that much variation, which actually surprised me looking at the two extremes. So if you look at C, which is closer to the existing system, which is represented by the red dotted line, I think, then C should be the closest to that line. And I would have expected the left hand, the red block D, which is no fees but equal weighting with token A and token B, I would have expected that bar to be a lot lower. But the results have shown that it's actually quite close to, it's the closest to our existing setup. And the bar that represents almost a three-way split, which is B probably, a third going to fees, and then almost a third going to token A, token B, that's kind of the lowest, but not really. It's probably second lowest. So there isn't a huge amount of difference, which I think is the point I'm making. That surprised me. I would have expected to see a lot more of a variance in the way we structured the campaigns, but that's not.
Well,
That's
one thing that we see is especially the smaller wallets. At our native system, the smaller wallets get less and sometimes even nothing. And what you see with Merkl is that the more equal also to the smaller wallet. So even if you have a smaller size of active liquidity in the pool, you still earn some rewards, where in our current system you would be getting close to nothing. It is a coefficient, so there's some metrics within this Gini coefficient that are weighed together. It's not a 1 plus B is C. So I have to look deeper in it, but yeah, I think
that's the point I'm making. If Merkl is designed to enable a much more fairer distribution, then I would have expected the Gini coefficient to be a lot lower. And really, it's up at the high 0.7, and our one's just over 0.8. So yeah, there's not that much difference for the fairness, because I know our existing system is weighted heavily to active position management rather than just set and forget.
Yeah, but I think our current system is already there's some. The thing is that in our current system there's some outliers, but our current system is actually pretty good with rewarding and spreading out rewards over wallets. So we're scoring pretty good already. Normal for Gini would be between 0.65 and below 8, so we're just over it, but it's mostly because of a few outliers that we detected and that we're looking at also. as long as we're not going to Merkl, we're looking into some things that we detected. So we're scoring. Our native system is certainly not bad. No.
But anyway, I think that aside, I've seen some of the other results from Merkl, and so I know it is given a much more fairer distribution. That's maybe not represented truly in that graph the way it's done. But anyway, yeah, it's. I think Merkl is, in my opinion, a good way forward for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's Merkl. It's also why Merkl. It's, I think, for us the biggest. First of all, they're the number one by far reward protocol in DeFi and in the blockchain space. So they're pretty battle tested. They offer us a lot of flexibility by being able to reward certain percentages to tokens either or fees. And there's another aspect. They got time-weighted reward system. So also gaming the system is going to be pretty hard on the Merkl, and this is a big plus also. So yeah, all in all, I think Merkl actually checks a lot of the boxes that we want to see.
Yeah, and also from a user's point of view, it will make providing liquidity simpler if we can get away without attaching a hook. So it makes the proposition to the aggregators a lot better because they sway away from hook attachments. And also the more educated user, once they get familiar with the Merkl dashboard itself, and this is where maybe the widget can come into play, users can actually see their rewards accumulating in almost real time. The current system, we have to wait for the reward distribution each week and then see what's been dropped to our wallet to find out what the rewards have been allocated. Whereas through Merkl, you can go directly onto Merkl's dashboard, look up the TELx campaign and look for your wallet address and see your wallet, how it's performing, how your positions are doing in terms of rewards. So there's a lot more visibility through the week for the user to see reward distribution before it gets distributed. You can see them accumulating in real time, which I think is a great plus for the average user. Yeah,
no, definitely. That's and I think within when we were talking about the Merkl meet that we had yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah. I think one of our goals is to keep as much on our own website, TELx website, to make it users as easy as possible to provide liquidity. But yeah, in the background, you basically got Merkl running for the rewards program, and of course Uniswap for the pool. So yeah, we want to keep most of it on our own TELx website.
So is it feasible to see the reward distribution getting fed back into TELx, or is that a step too far?
That was my question.
Oh, so new. Okay.
Yeah, well, we got some amazing devs in our team, so I wouldn't rule it out. I don't know, maybe it's Leo. Can you shed a light?
For that, we'd have to track individual tokens or
yeah,
see at what rate people are compounding, basically.
Yeah, but it's also if we can see on our own website. I think that was the question of time. But if we can see the rewards compounding on our own website, or is it just going to be a simple button to provide liquidity and that's it?
I mean, we can do everything. I guess it's just, is the price worth the return? So it's not something I've thought of, but it would be cool, I guess. You could build a script displaying it as a bit different.
Yeah, I think if not in real time, if we could just get something a bit more regular than once a week, maybe that's worth considering as well.
But even just a button that takes them to the Merkl website directly to the dashboard, and then the user can see it on Merkl. I mean, I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel twice. If the information's already been presented through Merkl, just jump into the Merkl dashboard. Seems easy.
Yeah, Merkl's
Wait,
pretty.
what's the Merkl dashboard showing? Sorry.
You can look at each wallet and see the rewards being distributed that week in real time.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was a
Had a
feature.
time frame of 6 hours, I believe.
Yeah. So it's near real time. It's not the trickle feed like you see, every block or anything like that. But periodically, the rewards are updated as the week progresses. So 3 or 4 times a day, you get an updated reward position, which is more than adequate and a lot better than waiting until the end of the week that we currently have. So, we're miles ahead in that regard.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, we can brainstorm some stuff. Could be cool. Well, I mean, I think generally we're always pro data, so yeah, let's discuss and iron a few things out, but could be cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's something to consider as we get these products to market and how to integrate them best into the TELx site and keep that site updated and relevant going forward. But I think we can all agree that the Merkl due diligence is complete, and we would like to move forward in that respect. And so I don't know if there's like housekeeping items that need to be done in order to get that approved and whatnot, but we need to probably push that button next.
Yeah, we did talk, Mike, about actually producing a write-up and making that available. So consolidating all the data we've got, maybe include a couple of graphs that Eric has done, some of the analysis that he's done, and just put together a short end of proof of concept report so that everybody has got visibility and transparency as to why we're making the decisions we're making.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, we want to publish something on Medium. So we want to be more active on Medium in the future. I think there's a lot of stuff going on and more coming within a few months.
So I'm happy to work with you, Derek, and put something together in that regard.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Oh, sorry, Eric. My bad.
No. He said Derek. He said Derek.
No, I'm happy to help. It's all you guys. I'm happy to help format and whatever else you need. Definitely agree that some more TELx and LP stuff on an article perspective would be great. Happy to help.
Yeah. Sorry, I was meaning Eric, Derek, but
all good. I'm here if you guys need me.
Ty, I think personally the problem with the analysis that we did is that there's a lot of the sensitive information also in it. We can look if we can publish something. What I would be keen to see in the future is, for example, if we choose a certain variants of Merkl where we adjust the percentages for some reason, or choose scenario A, B, C, whatever. To write a piece about why we're doing this, what we're rewarding, if we want to reward the fee part more or the token part more, and an explanation of how we do this and why we do this. I think this would be awesome to have in the future and publish on Medium. Yeah. Do you agree?
Yeah. Well, maybe we can work on something, you and I, this week, and have something ready to be reviewed at our next internal meeting next Wednesday, and then polish it off and publish it at the council meeting in the fortnight's time?
Now let's have a look. I'm short in my time these days, but it's we can see we can set up. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. I think that kind of works us through the meat of the agenda. I suppose that puts us on to miscellaneous and Q&A. Is there any pending items that any council members have that would like to bring to the floor for discussion? Okay. I don't believe there's any questions.
There's one in the stream chat. I apologize if this was answered. My connection dropped about single-sided liquidity. Did you guys answer that one?
No, we did not.
Okay. So the question was, and it may need further clarification, will single-sided staking within the TEL app be possible? And if so, are rewards far less than being in pools? I'm assuming the LP pools.
Single-sided.
In any scenario, as far as in my experience, any scenario, single staking is just forcing a sale to the equivalent assets in the other pools. And with you could probably get closer to a single asset staking scenario with a concentrated liquidity pool, but you would basically be out of range, and you'd have to stake your single asset in a window of liquidity that's not currently in range, right? So, and doing that within, I think part of the question was within the app, and that is an aspirational goal, is to have liquidity mining and liquidity staking in app, but there is no like current timeline or plan to have those services in app. Although we'd obviously love to have that feature available. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that was the only one in the chat.
Okay. All right. Well, having said that, I think we'll close this thing out a little early today, and we'll plan on reconvening in 2 weeks, 2 weeks time, and have our internal meeting next week, and see how much progress we made on presenting Merkl and to the public.
Cool. Yeah. And for listeners, if you have any questions about DeFi, beginner or advanced, just send a DM, get into our Discord or Telegram, and ask. It's not that hard. It's pretty much, it's a lot of fun actually. So if you have questions, don't hesitate.
Great.
Great. Good meeting,
All right,
guys.
guys. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Derek.